what I'm going to be doing this week and what I invite you to begin to do this week is really countercultural, totally countercultural. And to the degree you have itches, bitches, twitches in response to what I'm up to this week, to the degree that you gasp at what I'm up to this week, you're going to get how countercultural this is. But to the degree you also maybe have some envy or wish or admire what I'm up to this week, that's something you need to listen to, my friend, because that's your soul, that's your heart speaking to you. Bottom line this week, Monday morning, I begin my 6-day silent retreat. No email, no phone, no Marco Polo, no text, no social media, no movie watching, no documentaries, no podcast, nothing. Silence, solitude, stillness. Basically just me, and with the one who created me. The one who gives me life with every breath I take. The source of this universe and the something bigger that we're all part of. It's countercultural, okay? To literally stop all the doing. To stop all the pursuing. To stop all of the achieving, to stop the to-do list, to stop the learning, to stop the growing, to just stop. And probably what my days are going to look like is sleeping until I wake up, spending some time early in the morning, consciously connecting with my God. Through centering prayer, through meditation, with probably there'll be journaling throughout the day, not me trying to figure something out, but more in reflection and expression and connection with what's bubbling up in me, with what's showing up, with what I'm experiencing, how God may be speaking to me. Whenever I begin a centering prayer meditation, the intention of that is to consent to the presence and action of God within. And in that, we drop everything. We drop our thinking and we just do our best to consent to the presence and action of God within, letting go of what that's going to be, what that's going to mean, where we're going to go. We're just opening and making ourselves available. Well, in many respects, that's what the intention is of this 6 days of silent retreat. And I'm clear I will spend a lot of time out in nature because that feeds my spirit, it feeds my body. I see God, the divine, expressed in so many ways in nature. So I'm sure I'll be hiking and doing all of that. I'm clear there'll probably be some naps, because what happens when we unplug from all of the busyness and the activities of our day, we discover how much more tired and depleted we are, and how much of our energy, what energizes us, isn't coming from within. It's not the divine indwelling, the life force within us. It's in reaction to the external stimuli. I won't be surprised if I'm going to have some painful realizations about myself and my life, to which all I can do is open myself, claim it, and know that I'm loved despite it. I'm also hoping and expecting that I might have some amazing, inspiring, validating, affirming insights this week. But more than anything, what I am affirming, and this is why I'm inviting you into some form of this practice, is what I'm affirming is that what I do, what do I accomplish, where I live, what I have, all of that busy doing whatever type of stuff isn't who I am and isn't what gives me worth or value. It's not what makes me important. It's not what makes me enough. That's inside. That's baked in. I was all of those things the moment I was born, and so are you. But you know what? When you're caught up in that culture of striving and achieving and doing nothing is kind of like you should be productive and you should be learning something and all of that. This is how you begin to trust that. You listen to a deeper truth than the one that we're given like 24/7 in the world around us. That's what I'm practicing. The other thing, and this is why I'm inviting you to some form of this, even in small moments in your life, is because how can we begin to trust that we're part of something bigger than our individual efforts and perceptions and lives if we keep doing all the things and trying to make it happen and get where we need to go? How can we begin to trust that it's really not up to us if we don't stop? One of the most powerful quotes I've ever read, and I've read it a zillion times, comes from a little book called God Calling. It's daily messages that were channeled, divine downloads to two women in England in the early 1900s. And one begins, rest, knowing all is so safe in my hands. Rest is trust. Ceaseless activity is distrust. Without the knowledge that I am working for you, you do not rest. This is the message coming from the divine God. Yeah, 5 days of silence, unplugged from all of the usual external stimuli, etc., just resting and being with me and with the one who dwells within me. Yeah, that's trust. Dropping all that activity, that's trust. It's also how we open ourselves in ways we couldn't even imagine with our minds to all that the one who created us wants to give to us and through us. So that's what I'm going to be up to this week. So if you email me, great, you'll get an autoresponder saying I'll respond next week. If you text me, you won't hear from me. If you call me, you'll get a voicemail message saying I'm gone. If you Marco Polo me, you're not going to see me on social media. There's no scheduled post on social media. This is my practice. Now, how can you practice this in even a small way in your life today and this week? Can you set a timer on your phone, an alarm, and literally when it goes off, stop what you're doing? Move, sit in a different chair, sit in a different location, and just for 2 minutes, rest, stop, breathe. When you're tempted to, I'm driving, this is an opportunity, I can listen to my podcast, I can get that done, or I can get this new information. What if you didn't that drive and you just drove in silence, present to the world around you as you drive? What if picking up your phone and scrolling social media when you got 5 minutes at the doctor's office or at the hair salon? What if you just didn't do that and just sat there and waited? My ability to say yes to 6 days of this started by saying yes to smaller moments, to shorter and simpler ways. I started to live that knowing we're part of something bigger than us, the real source of abundance. I began to live. Rest is trust. Ceaseless activity is distrust. I started to trust that there is a force at work I call God. You may give another name, that is at work for us so we can rest. I will see you back here on the other side of my retreat, my friend. But seriously, practice this in small ways this week in your life as well. It really is probably the most essential practice for you to experience abundance and fully be the unique human being you were created to be. Making yourself available, opening to, trusting in the source of abundance.